spots where the balls would kind of keep going. This is interesting though, because Kazakis is actually breaking from the opposite side. Rule of thumb, usually left-handed players would break from where Kazakis is and right-handed on the other. That's not a rule, of course, it just seems to be what's more favourable. Yeah, and he actually made the wing ball then, so maybe there's a little bit of something in it. 9 ball still tracking towards this corner.
Well, of course, we had a golden break, didn't we, earlier, where the 9 ball went in to that corner pocket directly.
Well, that's not good to hear when that happens. Yeah, you can actually purposely rack the balls, you know, Phil, and get the 9 ball to go straight in, almost like a bit of a trick shot. Of course, it's not allowed in professional events. That wouldn't go down too well, would it, if you kept making the 9 on the break straight in? Kazakis has got a tester here. He's missed it because he was trying to draw back. That was the test of that shot. Wasn't necessarily the pot, it was drawing the cue ball back. And Albin's going to come to the table with a nasty little shot.
Nasty. It was. These two played each other relatively early in phase 1 on Tuesday morning. It was over on table 2. Ouschan ran out a 5-2 winner. Of course, all of the games we're seeing now, it's a second meeting of the two players concerned.
Ducking in behind the 7. Yeah, nicely done there from Kazakis.
He will settle for that all day, every day. And let me tell you, the Francisco Sanchez Ruiz story just keeps getting better and better. He's rapidly taken the opening rack against Omar Al-Shaheen over on table 2. He's in stroke. He's been playing for literally hours, and he's loving life.
Kazakis won't be loving life when he comes to the table faced with this shot.
Extension, please.
But you fancy him to hit this ball, don't you? So it's what happens after, what counts. And hit it he did. That was a nice shot there from Albin. Now he's in prime position. Obviously got off to such a good start in this Premier League pool, but kind of feel like he's desperate for a win. As crazy as that sounds, he's still on 11 points. The players below him are all creeping up. A win here would just settle himself back down, Phil.
Yeah, like he's been running on the spot, really. As you say, won his first 10 matches, so he's only won one of his next 6. Well capable of switching that momentum around, but he most certainly needs to do so. That's the thing with this format. Doesn't matter how well you do in any one phase. There's no sense or reason in resting on your laurels. You have to keep going. 1-1, by the way. Omar Al Shaheen has just equalised against Sanchez Ruiz on table 2, where the speed of play has been markedly quicker.
So Albin got a little bit fortunate in this rack with the kick shot, but he does go on to take this first one.
Yes, in fairness to him, it was a very sturdy hit of the 2-ball, but he had no real control as to where it would finish. It finished perfectly for him, horribly for Kazakis, and basically that was the rack right there. So it's the top 10 now competing in this phase. When they've all played each other in this second round robin, that will be concluded tomorrow night. We'll know the leading 6 who go into the final day. Then it's another round robin. Everyone plays everyone again to determine the top 4 to take part in the semi-finals and final. It's really cutthroat, and I think it's psychologically demanding as well. It was very interesting to see Albin Ouschan say that when he got those 10 wins, he did actually take his foot off the gas a little. Now, you'd expect that from some players, but not from him.
Unless he's just trying to find an excuse to why he lost some matches, Phil.
Ever the realist.
The legend Stephen Henry once called me The Truth. That was my nickname. Every time I used to see Stephen, how you doing? The Truth.
Well, interestingly, it must be something to do with the name Carl, because there was a boxer many years ago called Carl the Truth Williams. Don't know where I dredged that one up. I'm so convinced I'm right. I'm just going to check on the internet though.
Phil will be back in a moment. The stat man, he's hoping he's got that one right. Albin played the cut break, potted the one in the side. That is often one of the options on the break that the pool player can take. Now he can cut this ball in the corner. But getting on the 3 is awful, to be honest. He could also play safe. Draw the cue ball back in behind that purple 5. Maybe even stop the cue ball if we can see it full enough.
Well, I was telling the truth about Carl the Truth. Yes, he challenged for the heavyweight world title, the IBF title against Larry Holmes in 1985, and the undisputed heavyweight title against Mike Tyson in 1989.
I had faith in you, pal.
I think you had more faith in me than me.
10 seconds.
Trying to jump this ball in, draw the cue ball back for the 3. Wasn't far away. Always looks worse than it is because the balls are flying around the table. What's worse for Kazakis is where the 2 balls finished. Albin's got the perfect little angle as well, just to come back up for this 3 ball. Cue ball's got to do a lot of travelling in this rack though. It's going back up table now for the 3, then he's got to come back down for the pink 4, back up for the purple 5.
Sanchez Ruiz 2-1 up on Omar Al Shaheen. The key to that rack, he played a really good positional shot on a tricky pot to the side on the 7, came around and dropped perfectly on the 9.
Attention, please.
Pace is everything here, and it looks good. He's done well there. They can often cause you a few little problems. Well, I thought you were getting down quick. Well, Albin, after your last bridge effort, I'd play it with your left hand.
As great as Ouschan is, he doesn't look great with the bridge, does he?
No, I think he needs to book a few lessons in that department. He's missed 2 balls in the same pocket with the bridge.
Throughout Q Sports history, players have struggled with the bridge or
Attention, please.
the rest, depending on terminology. And even some really world-class players find the thing impossible to master.
You come from a snooker background, Phil. I would imagine you was pretty good with the rest, being 4 foot tall.
Needed it to break off.
Well, this has started out with a lot of errors today. I'm not saying that was an easy shot for Kazakis, but it was a shot I fancied him to make. We've seen this all week. This pink 4 ball's got to go in clean. If it catches that bottom rail, it's not going to go in anymore. 4-inch pockets now. Matchroom Pool have brought that to all their professional events. You can just tell he's struggling, Albin. He's prone to doing this. He was a little bit like this in the Mosconi Cup. Didn't play his best ever game, and the problem is, if you're that type of player for where you start to beat yourself up, it's hard to kick on. As where if Jason Shorter missed that ball or Filler, they've forgot about it already, sat in the chair. They just carry on when they come back to the table, but you know it's going to eat away at Albin Ouschan.
The majority of the rest of the session will be played almost in isolation on table 1. Table 2 now close to completion. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz moving further ahead. Yeah, with Ouschan, he establishes such high standards for himself that when he doesn't meet them, he finds it difficult to accept. Of course, there is the flip side of this. He's struggling now when he's in the zone because he concentrates so well. Mistakes are few and far between.
Well, that was an absolute mile off. So this is just a bizarre moment in this match. And what's happening here is when they make the mistake, they're not leaving their opponent something easy where they can just get down and knock it in. So now it's Kazakis' turn for the bank shot. And again, Phil, look where it finishes. This is actually incredible stuff, this. Even Albin's broke out into a smile.
That takes some doing when he's playing.
We're so used to seeing break and runs and things like this. It's actually quite refreshing to see.
What was your nickname? Call the Truth. Go out there now, Colin. Tell Albin, say, this is refreshing to see.
Well, I don't think he went for the pot down the rail. And he's been fortunate where the cue balls ended up. It's hampered even Kazakis is smiling now. He can't believe what's going on. He's going to do well to pot this. You just feel like he's going to miss it by a mile, don't you, the way this rack's going.
You feel we should be in some bar somewhere with a quarter on the side of the table.
We're up next, Phil. Well, after about 15 attempts, the 4-ball finally disappears. That was like a couple of dart players keep missing the double and end up on double one. Well, I hope he can reach this one and he doesn't need the bridge, Phil.
Well, I think that was definitely in his mind, wasn't it, as the cue ball travelled on. Just draped near the 8-ball, but not touching it.
Cue balls on the rail. Is there another twist left in what has been quite a remarkable rack of pool? This is not easy. He's got to get the cue ball spinning. Oh, he went off the rail first. Good shot.
Thankfully for Ouschan, it's not a beauty contest, it is a pool match. It's all about the score, and despite the fact that was low quality, he leads 2-0. I can tell you here, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz is on the verge of going 4-1 up. With the cue ball close to the side cushion, Al Shaheen missed the 6. And there it is. What a quality quartet of victories it would be if he were able to add one more rack. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. What a session it's been for him. He's beaten David Al-Qaedi, Joshua Filler, Albin Ouschan, and now he stands on the threshold of beating Omar Al-Shaheen. And he's gone from middle of the pack to being a massive contender.
Yeah, what a start for Sanchez. Not the best of starts for that man there, the world number 1. He's not playing like the world number 1 at the minute. Needs to regroup. But luckily, he leads this match 2-0.
Track number 3, our current score is 2-0 in favour of Mr. Ouschan. Mr. Kazakis, 2 Break.
Kazakis can't afford to go 3-0 down, having broken twice, but it's teeming down with rain outside. Wet out there. Regularly dry on the break here.
Yeah, he's got a tricky spot here because after potting the one, he's got to try and get on the two. And it's not easy.
Extension, please.
I don't know if you can just pot it natural and come off the side rail and play a 2-8 combination. At first glance, you're just thinking just pot the one, it's all very easy, but it's not this. It's a little bit in between shots, as we say. That's why he's striking down on this cue ball. He's trying to come around the back of the 7 and the 9.
What a great shot, and what a great story over on table 2, because would you believe it, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz has won via a golden break.
Sanchez Ruiz wins the rack.
Golden break, golden session.
What an unbelievable break that was. 5 balls, including the 9. Albin's got a good chance here. He's played a good opening first shot on that one. Yeah, and that's gone in as well. Yeah, this is good stuff now.
How about that, though, Carl, on table 2? 5 matches over. And there's been 2 delays there because of players being unavailable to go on immediately. Here we are at the start of the 4th match on table 1. What a disparity in pace.
Yeah, it's just one of them things, isn't it? Of course, we also have breaks on table 1. Table 2 doesn't. But the ball's determining the racks at pool. That's just the way it is. It's not like darts where you throw it a dart board. You know, you can only break, you can only get what the table gives you. I've actually quite enjoyed it myself, Phil. It's been a little bit different, hasn't it?
Definitely. We've had confirmation no matches will be swapped over onto table 2 because it's idle. And so consequently, all of the remaining matches in this session will be right here for you.
Another nice shot there from Albin. That just makes the next shot from the 7 to the 8 a little bit easier. Next match on this table, on table 1 that is, well, Albin Ouschan will stay. No, he won't. I've got that wrong. It's David Al-Kaidi versus Jason Shaw. It's been a long week, Phil. I'm allowed one mistake.
Well, no mistakes here from Ouschan. A radically different rack to the one that went before.
Yeah, this is much more like Albin Ouschan.
And of course, we have to bear in mind that he's breaking off in rack 4. That is coming your way after the break right now. Ouschan in command. like a thoroughbred racehorse. He's come down the back straight and past so many of his fellow racers. Look at Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. He actually started the day with 8 points. His latest win is to go on there, and so consequently he's moved to 12 and into second place for now, above Shane Van Boening. Only Joshua Filler is above him. What a move.
Number 4.
Yeah, you often talk about moving day, and he's moved up that leaderboard nicely. He's going to be happy with his opening 4 matches. And why wouldn't he be? Albin Ouschan to break, leading 3 wrecks to 0. Cue ball's going a little close to this corner.
Well, it's going to be awkward queuing, but he can pot the 1 and come down for the 2, which will go also. That said, though, I've made it sound simple. When you're queuing from the jaws of a pocket like this, it's so uncomfortable where you put your bridge hand.
Lovely shot. Real nice stroke, that. As you said, Phil, they're always you expect the pros to keep making them, but when you're down on the shot, you're always a little bit wary of them.
All seems set fair here. 7-9 combination lies in wait.
Yeah, wants to land high on this 5 ball. Just wants to come past the 7 now and play an easy 7-9 combo. This was all because of the nice opening shot on the 1.
Quickly done. Albin Ouschan dominating this match. He leads Alexander Kazakis by 4 racks to 0, and of course he will get at least 2 more breaks to finish things off. It comes down to how many points you've got, whether you make the next phase or not. Then of course it comes down to racks difference. If you win a 5-0, that really gives you a big advantage. If you lose one, then you're on the back foot. And Kazakis has been whitewashed in this tournament before. So just to repeat, no action on table 2 to go to because the session is over. The results there: Skylar Woodward beat Shane Van Boening 5-1. Jason Shaw came through a dramatic end against Woodward 5-4. Van Boening bounced back, beating Mieszko Fortunski 5-2. Fortunski then lost 5-2 to Joshua Filler, and via a golden break to round things off, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz beat Omar Al Shaheen 5-1 over there. So the remainder of this match and the next 2 matches on table 1
Mr. Kazakis.
will be played in what is effectively a single table arena.
Yeah, I just want to touch on where Kazakis is at points-wise. He's on 9 points. Albin's on 11. So this would move Albin onto 12 points, the same as Francisco and SVB. Dry break, Phil. Albin's got a chance here. I'm not saying it's an easy chance, because the opening shot, well, the opening shot's not too bad. He can swing it round 2 rails. But the 3 ball to the pink 4 is where things could be nasty. So he's going to need a real good shot from this 2 to the 3, and then an even better one from the red 3 to the pink 4. You can see again, can't you, Phil? Look where that 9 ball is. It keeps going near that right-hand side diamond. If you're watching and you're not sure what the diamonds are, if you look on top of the rail, so where you can see the black rail, it's them little white dots. Well, they're actually in the shape of a diamond. They're what we call the diamonds on a pool table. And them diamonds can actually, well, you know what? I've got a trivia question for you, Phil. That's just hit me. What was the purpose of them diamonds on the pool table?
Over to you.
Oh my word, I can't believe I've got you with a question. Mark this down, the date, the time, the month, the year. They were for a scoring system to help you keep track of the racks. You learn something new every day, Phil.
Absolutely. So unintentionally, they've helped thousands of players over the years.
Yeah, and also what they do is you can use them as a little bit of a system to help kicking and banking. Well, we called the 3 to the 4 being difficult. He is on it. He didn't play to be on it like this, but he does have a shot, so he's got to be happy with that. That is a steeper angle than we all think, so the cue ball is not going to be easy to control. He's played it as slow as possible, and overall I think he'll be delighted with the outcome.
Just looking at his past results, Alex Kazakis, he lost 5-0 to Jason Shaw in the first phase. And now he's staring down the barrel of another whitewash. Chalk and cheese this match, the first 2 racks, the second rack in particular. They were all over the place. Bordered on farcical. Since then, though, Ouschan has really held himself together and started to look like Albin Ouschan.
Yeah, the last 3 racks have been a lot more like Albin. Kazakis will be back, of course. Plenty more matches for himself. He actually plays back-to-back matches tonight on table 2.
Yes, Kazakis also finishes off the session here on table 1 against David Al-Qaedi, and for him it's getting to the point where wins are imperative. Maybe not so for Albin Ouschan, but that win is very comprehensively put in the books. He defeats Alexander Kazakis 5-0, the winning habit for the 9-ball rankings #1.